Last Summer Productions presents Ebon Storms, an original fantasy audio drama.
In a world filled with magic, gods and men make war. The fabric of time is torn asunder, though the true tempest is not yet upon us. None shall weather these trials alone, and few survive them together, for there can be no balancing of the scales in the wake of Ebon Storms.
Last time, in our second visit to the Ebon Storms universe, our attention briefly turned to two ordinary people soon to meet in a common quest, to save the organizations to which they had devoted their lives. Father Niffiget was the very epitome of the village priest, humble yet strong in his faith to Illuma, the goddess of light and goodness. The arrival of the high priest, traveling in secret, heralded the end of that peaceful existence. Sent on a mission with no plan save one rendezvous, and the fact that the fate of Illuma's church balanced on his shoulders. Meanwhile, Allandra the Blue, one of the most accomplished mages in the guild and a member of the High Council of Blue Mages, was sent by Gareth the Gray, the leader of the Mages Guild, to find the cause of the Mirror Stone's recent strange behavior. The paths of Allandra the Blue and Father Niffiget are to cross at a clearing in the forbidding expanse of the Garring Deep, one guided by faith, the other by prophecy, both fearing the coming days. And now, Episode 3, On Faith Alone.
Midday approaches in the Garring Deep. For the first time in many days, the rain has slowed to a steady drizzle, though the gloomy clouds suggest that the storms are not yet done. The heavy canopy of trees blots out the already diffuse light, making dappled shadows on the uneven ground. Father Niffiget picks his way carefully through the dense undergrowth, leading his tired horse. Struggling through an especially nasty patch of brambles, he finds himself suddenly in a small clearing. He stops short as he sees a party of adventurers, apparently unconscious. They are strewn about the clearing, looking as if some gargantuan child threw away her dolls in a tantrum. He stands there, shocked, until his horse, trying to get out of the thorns, pushes him forward. Niffiget drops the halter while trying to maintain his balance. Thus freed, the horse wanders off to graze nearby.
By the light, I've surely reached my destination. But to what end? These people have desperate need of healing. I will help them. Yet I wish I knew their intent. They don't look like cutthroats. Well, we shall see. Oh no, there are others. Hide. Have to hide. There.
Niffiget ducks behind the nearby rotting remains of a fallen tree just as the mage Allandra emerges from the bushes, cursing in an unladylike manner. She breaks off abruptly when she spies the adventurers, and a surprised look momentarily crosses her features. Her eyes narrow as she notices the single horse, then her gaze returns to the slumped forms. She walks cautiously to the clearing's center, stepping around the unconscious adventurers. Still looking at the fallen party, she breaks the silence.
Do priests of Illuma always hide in shadow?
Oh, I'm truly sorry. I didn't know what to... My lady, I'm honored by your presence.
So, the Church of Illuma represents itself in this as well as the Guild.
What? Represented? I have no idea what you mean, my lady. I was merely passing on my way to Regner when I came upon these travelers, who obviously need my assistance. From a distance, it looked as if lightning had struck them.
Oh, come now, Father.
Niffiget. My name is Niffiget.
Father Niffiget, do you honestly expect me to believe that? You aren't here by accident, nor am I. I presume we are here because our superiors sent us, and as for the lightning, it seems not to have touched them. There are no burn marks which I can discern. They do look as if they've just come out of a battle of some kind, one which they were losing badly, it would seem. Do you know them?
No, my lady. They are certainly in need of Illuma's healing.
Can you heal them fully?
No, not completely. I have not the strength. I can partially heal their wounds and wake them up, but they will still be weak. They should be able to make it to Bregner, though, where we can find an inn, and I can prepare some herbs and restoratives.
Then go ahead, but use caution. We don't know who they are or what they intend. The Green Mage will be able to tell us something, though.
That is well, but I'll start with this one, the warrior. He looks the worst of the lot. Holy Illuma, goddess of the morn, grant that the wounds of this vessel be healed and that your light may shine in his eyes.
Allandra watches, feigning disinterest, as the worst of Thangar's wounds close and a healthy color returns to his features. Nifigate removes his hand from Thangar's forehead and stands as Thangar awakens.
What? Where's Ralcazar?
Be calm, friend. You were in Gyrin Deep Forest. There were no enemies here. What has happened?
Who are you?
I am Allandra the Violet.
A mage. Great. Get your hands off me.
Certainly. I was trying to help you to your feet. What is your name?
Thangar, of Maldrick Forge.
Maldrick Forge? But it was destroyed, burned to the ground.
I survived its destruction. Where's Farsha? Where's Charn?
Goddess of the morn, grant that the
Father Nifigate has approached the green mage Krannik and finishes a similar prayer to his goddess, as Thangar struggles to stand, ignoring Allandra's offered help.
Oh, my head. The bridge, Valaria, Elrad. Charn, where's Charn?
He's gone, and so's Farsha.
Holy Illuma, goddess...
Thangar helps Krannik stand, as Nifigate heals the remaining two adventurers, the young man in brown robes and the regally dressed woman. The woman's facial scars and disfigurements disappear with Nifigate's prayer of healing, leaving a very beautiful, waifish face, silvered blonde hair, and gently pointed ears.
Wake up, everyone! Charn and Farsha are gone. We have to go find them.
Easy, my son. Illuma's healing needs time to take effect, more so because of my wariness. It will take them a little while longer to awaken.
But we have to get going. Trellin, her face. What did you do?
I did nothing. Illuma's healing has taken effect.
Who are these others that you speak of? This Charn and Farsha.
I'm going to look for Farsha. Tell the others when they wake up, Father.
Hold on, Thangar. I think we should wait for the others. Charn and Farsha can't have gone far.
I don't trust Charn to do anything. If he's harmed Farsha in any way...
I think Farsha is more than capable of handling herself, don't you think? Look there near that rotten stump. That's Charn's money pouch. Charn wouldn't knowingly leave without it. You remember how badly he was hurt in the battle with... Anyway. I think it likely that Farsha woke up before the rest of us and decided that Charn needed help immediately. Father, did you happen to see them?
No, sir, I didn't. They must have left before I arrived. Perhaps they've already headed off to...
Oh. Thangar? Krannik? What's going on?
Where are we? Did we survive?
Trellin, your face is healed. Trellin, look at me.
What? Speak it again.
Your face is healed. The black markings are gone.
My face. It is healed. My arms, too. The stigma has faded. Healed. But my memory, it escapes me yet. How has this happened?
The good Father Nifigate here has healed you. Now would someone please answer a question or two? Where have you been? Who have you been fighting? You look battle-weary, but I see no enemy here.
We've no time for your questions, Mage. We must leave at once.
You there, old man. You wear Green Guild's robes. As your superior, I would ask that you please explain in full detail what has happened.
I would, my lady, but I fear I hardly know myself. And I fear that our friends Farsha and Charn are in danger. If you will help us find them...
We don't need her help. We need to leave. Now!
Look at us, Thangar. We can hardly stand on our own. I think we should not refuse help if it's freely given. My lady, I will gladly answer any questions I can, but before that we need to find the rest of our party and our bearings. We are somewhere in the Gyrin Deep, the southeastern part by the look of the trees.
That is correct, sir. We're about 4 leagues from Bregner, 3 hours on horseback. Do these people, Charn and Farsha, know the deep as well as you?
Farsha does. She's traveled through most of it.
Then they've probably started in that direction already, perhaps looking for help.
Fine. 3 hours by horse means half a day on foot. If we hurry, we can make it by dark. Let's go.
Hours later, shortly before nightfall, the party still makes its way slowly and painfully towards Bregner. Thangar, despite his wounds and fatigue, pushes the others to hurry. Krannik and Trellin take turns on Father Nifigut's exhausted horse. Nifigut, the least wounded of them all, has the most trouble keeping up, his asthmatic lungs working heavily to carry him forward.
Bregner should be over this next hill. We can get a room at Mirch's Inn.
You may, Father. I'll be searching for Farsha.
And Charn.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out for him as well.
Meaning what?
Meaning I'll gut him like a boar if he's abandoned Farsha.
I understand how worried you must be, Thangar, but Charn has proven his loyalty.
I thought you lost your memory.
I have. But I can remember some things. Charn fought bravely against that gloom giant.
Only trying to save his own neck. Do you think he'd have helped us if his life weren't at stake? He's a thief.
Thangar, this talk gets us nowhere. It won't help us find Charn or Farsha. We should be worrying about getting to Bregner, not about things over which we have little or no control. Perhaps we should discuss this later.
Why? We have nothing else to...
Friend Krannik does not wish to have the good father and I present during your discussion. I dare say he doesn't trust...
We're here!
As the party tops the hill, the adventurers find themselves looking upon Bregner, a very small town with a single inn. As the party approaches Mirch's Inn, a man steps out of the adjoining stable to greet them.
Good afternoon, or how about good evening? My name's Sheldon, but most call me Scrap. I'll take care of your horse. Mirch will fix you up with the room and some food and drink. Put that purse away, Father. Mirch wouldn't charge none traveling in the ladies' company. Now go take a chair and enjoy yourself. Welcome to Bregner.
Thank you, but we're not, here for food. We need to find a friend.
Friend. Tell me, Scrap, has a lady paladin come through here recently?
Sure. Came walking through here afternoon today. She had a sick friend, she did.
Sick?
Yeah, thin salt. Had an evil-looking scar on his shoulder. Wasn't none here in Bregner could help him. The lady Knight asked round, then headed up for Shazgrath to look for a healer there. The rain's washed out the good road, though. Only way through now is Malvern Reach. We warned her about the reach, but she took her friend and left right after a short meal. Mirch gave him a good horse, though. Our best one, really. Why, that horse can run the
How long
fast...
ago did she leave?
About an hour afternoon.
Did she leave anything behind?
Like what?
A note of some kind, maybe.
I don't think so, but ask Mirch, he'd know. Sorry. If you please, I'll take the horse now. Have a nice day.
We're not staying here the night. The longer we waste in Bregner...
We all need rest. I suggest that we stay here and start fresh in the morning.
In the morning? That's too long. You heard what the man said. We can't let Farsha go through Malvern Reach alone, not with a sick person in tow.
Let's not stand here and talk. Whether we stay the night or not, please, let's go in and sit down.
The group enters Mirch's Inn, a roomy place, well lit and dry. Mirch Tanglewood stands behind the stout bar, driving a tap into a fresh barrel of ale. He looks up and smiles warmly, a short, round man with dark features and a light-hearted expression.
Greetings all, name's Mirch. Welcome to my humble inn. A valet mage. My lady, I'm honored.
I'm sure. Friend Mirch, we are looking for some companions of ours. Your stableman said they came through here just afternoon today. A lady paladin and an ill man. Is it true that they headed for Shazgarath?
Why, yes, they did. I gave them one of my own horses.
They left no word for us?
No, sorry.
Excuse me, sir. What did they have to eat?
Well, I set up 2 bowls of stew for them. Which brings me to a question. What would y'all like?
What did they eat the stew out of, sir?
Well, at the bowls, of course. What are you getting at, lad?
Sir, I know this is a strange request, but could I see those bowls?
What in the world?
Elrod, what are you up to?
I can read objects. If the bowls haven't been handled by many others since then, I might glean something useful about Farsha and Charn.
Oh, so you're a guild mage as well then. That explains that. If you wait a moment, I'll go into the kitchen and get them for you.
Well, actually, I'm not a mage at all.
What? What do you mean?
He is a protege of mine, an apprentice. I'm instructing him in the ways of sympathetic magic.
Oh, good. Thank you for explaining, my lady. Sympathetic magic?
Never mind. Might we have the bowls, please? And some rooms for the night as well.
I said we're not.
Quiet. We'll discuss that in a moment.
Of course, my lady. Your rooms will wait upstairs. I'll get the bowls, and you and your apprentice can do whatever magic you need to upstairs. We wouldn't want to alarm the other customers now, would we? Perhaps we can have a good storytelling tonight.
Mirch disappears into the kitchen and returns a heartbeat later with 2 medium-sized wooden bowls. While the others, Thangar included, seat themselves wearily at a large table, Allandra and Elrod take the bowls from Mirch and head upstairs.
Why did you let them think I was a mage?
It seemed less dangerous than watching you try to explain yourself. If you intend to perform renegade magic, you should hide it better than that. This Mirch fellow seems to respect mages, and rightly so.
But I'm not a mage.
Then what exactly do you plan to do with these bowls?
As I said, I can read objects. I'm going to use the psychic imprints left on them to get some information about how Farsha and Charn fare.
You are a renegade, a wild mage!
I'm not a mage at all! I use my mind's power, not fancy words and gestures. Magic is summoned. Psychic powers are inborn. It is well that you're with me, though, my lady. You can help me. Once I make contact, I'll fall into a trance. I may start speaking as if I'm someone else. Watch and listen to all I say and do. If I begin to convulse or do something dangerous, knock me out. Hopefully you have some charm or chant that won't cause any permanent damage?
Yes, that's no problem. This has nothing to do with magic?
No. Just watch.
Elrod closes his eyes and places his hands on one of the bowls. He feels every surface, until finally his hands come to rest, cupping the bowl, as if he were going to drink from it. Allandra watches as his head starts to droop. His posture slumps. Lines of exhaustion and worry set into his face.
Great pain. I'm so tired. Must save Charn. Get to Shasgrath. Thangar. Don't leave Thangar. No, he won't understand. Can't fail Charn. Paladin's trust. The rain.
Without breaking his trance, Elrod switches to the second bowl. Allandra watches as his face turns from one of weariness to great fever. He starts shaking.
My shoulder. Pain. The pain. Chanting. Ralcazar dead. Shoulder burns. Ralcazar. Pain. Can't take.
Elrod's eyes remain unfocused, but his mouth contorts into a wicked grin as he reaches to his left ankle, grabbing for a dagger which he does not own. He lurches to his feet and pitches himself clumsily at Allandra, who dodges and kicks him in the side. Without hesitation, Allandra reaches into a pouch at her belt and draws forth a pinch of yellow powder.
Dust of Dayrin, Tikar Mora, Shele Shaza, sleep.
Allandra throws the powder on Elrod, and without a sound, his eyes close in slumber. Elrod's face drains of expression, leaving behind his natural boyish features. She hikes him up onto the bed and stares at his sleeping form still clutching the soup bowl. She takes the bowl from his hands and sets it on a nightstand. She turns to go to her own room, but before she leaves, a dreamy whisper makes its way to her from the bed.
Zenakar.
Downstairs, Mirch sits in front of the hearth, deftly spinning a tale of adventure and sacrifice for the weary travelers and townsfolk at his inn.
And the treacherous placed with this dungeon of his. They say the dark god himself helped Ralcazar fashion it. Beasts and monsters of every kind roam the halls of this unholy place, called the Black Void. Many a prisoner was thrown in this hellion's dungeon. Ralcazar always told his prisoners that there was a way out, hidden somewhere within the walls. None ever found it. Oh, I've heard a tale or two of one old hero who thought he made it out, but I don't think anyone came close. Truth be told, I don't think there really was a way out. That is, until Valaria.
Mirch continues his tale, relating how the party ventured into the Black Void. He skillfully tells his audience of this group's courage and bravery. He preaches about Valeria's constant struggle and sacrifice. Most of the crowd seems mildly interested in the tale, but one table is fascinated and horrified by it. Hearing enough, Krannik, tears in his eyes, gets up and walks out into the rain. Father Nifigate gets up and follows.
Are you all right, Krannik?
I'm fine, Father. I'm an emotional old fool, I guess.
Emotions are never foolish, my friend, but I suspect your tears belie something more than a sad story. I noticed you weren't the only one affected by Mirch's tale.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you, Father.
I find myself surprised at what I can and cannot believe these days, Krannik.
What if I told you that I know knew Valaria, that she was a good friend of mine.
All of us feel as though we know her. She was an example of strength in bad times. A friend to us all.
No, Father. You don't understand. I knew her. I watched her die. Why does Mirch's tale make me cry? Why were we in such bad shape back there in the forest? I'll tell you why. That story in there is our story. We were the party that braved the void with Valaria. We were the ones who faced Ralcazar. We watched Valaria die, helpless to do anything to save her. Mirch would have it be a grand story, but we lived it.
My heart says you speak the truth, but my mind refuses to believe. This story, this legend, happened hundreds of years ago. How could you have taken part?
No, it didn't. At least not for us. You see, we are from this time, but were somehow sent back into the past. There we faced Ralcazar. You must understand, before we went back in time, things were much different. Bregna, for example, was a burning piece of rubble. Ralcazar, unstoppable through all these years, led a horde which had conquered most of Romelia. Countless people were dead. You were probably dead if you ever existed at all. We were sent back to fight him. Valaria, she sacrificed herself to change time. Look, Father, I don't expect you to believe me. I can hardly myself. But I do know Valaria, and I will never forget her. Nor will the others who travel with me. I don't know why you or Lady Allandra are here. I only know what I know.
Krannik, my friend, when I became a priest of Illuma, I was forced to take many things on faith alone. Our meeting in the forest was one of them. For what it's worth, I believe what you say. I just wonder if things were changed for the better. We should go back inside.
Yes, I hope Mirch has finished his tale.
As Krannik and Nifigate rejoin the table, Thangar, not Mirch, finishes the tale with every ear in the room listening intently. No one moves, not even to take a drink of ale as he finishes the story.
Thus ends the tale of Valaria, the savior of us all.
Starring, in order of appearance, Michael A. Tomazic as the narrator, John Young as Father Nifigate, Erin A. Koch as Allandra the Blue, Bert Jean as Thangar, Chris Biddle as Krannik the Green, Chris Hutchins as Elrad, Christine Long as Trellin, Darrell Goffinet as Scrap, Bert Jean as Mirch the Innkeeper, Katie Cook as Farsha the Paladin, and Will Chandler as Charn. Ebon Storms was written and directed by Shane Ernst and Darrell Goffinet. Original music composed and performed by Edward Hauser and Scott Spear. Chief Editor, Shane Fox. Technical Engineer, Scott Spear. Art and Publicity, Shane Fox. Last Summer Productions would like to thank the Western Kentucky University Department of Music and Purdue University. This is Shane Ernst.
This has been a Last Summer production.